This is everything you need to know about templates inside of Monday.com. By the way, if you'd like us to help you set up Monday.com for your business, check out the link in the description below. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm inside of our example Monday.com system. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through how to create templates, how to edit templates, and then how to edit templated boards. So if you make a change to your template, it updates across all of those different templates as well. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and create a board. Now, I will call this our example board. Very simple, right? Privacy options, I would leave it as main, and then whatever you're managing, you're managing. Now, just be mindful, whatever you are setting up here, as opposed to like what you're managing in this board, that is going to be within the template as well. So just think about that, and then go ahead and press create board. Now, all we really need to do as an example is, I mean, we don't necessarily need to do anything. I'm going to go ahead and just add some different data points. So I'll add a timeline. I'm going to add a priority column. I'm going to go ahead and I might add, let's say, a drop down menu. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a Monday doc. I don't know, right? Any data points, even connection columns work with this, okay? So if you have a connection column on your template the board that you're going to create a template, and you create a new, or you create a template out of that, then the connection column will remain. So you can literally have any data points that you could possibly want on here. Let's add a location. I could add an email, and then I could add a phone number as well. And then I'm just going to have some different stages of our process as well. So let's just go to do, and then I don't know, we'll keep it really simple because I know you're not here to watch me make a board. But then once we've created our miracle board that we want to template and repopulate across our entire system, all you need to do is press the three dotted button and then go to save as a template. Okay, so it's really easy. You're doing that on the board itself, three dotted button, save as template. Now you then have two options. You can either move from the workspace and create a template, or you can duplicate the origin. So keep origin in the workspace. So if you're using this board, but you want to make a template out of it as well, then I would select duplicate the origin. However, if you have just created this board for the purpose of it being a template, you can then move it to the origin. So duplicate the origin or move it. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. So in this case, because I've created this fancy board for the purpose of it being a template, I'm just going to press move the origin. And then we have two options. We have the standard template, or we have managed template. So editing this template will not affect any other places where it is used. And then we have editing this template will update it anywhere it's used. Now this is a beta and we're going to come onto this in a moment. But firstly, we're going to start with our standard template. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and press next. And then all you need to do is give the template a name. So example board, and then it's taken the name of the board and then just added template at the end of it. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing, and then we can select our template privacy. So all account members can find this template and install it. That means that anyone in your Monday.com system can use this template. Otherwise, if you select it as private, only you and other people that you allow will be able to use the template that you have created. And then all you need to do is press create template, and it saves to the magical template center within Monday.com. Okay. This might take a moment or two, but it will now be sat in your template center here. So example board template. So now what I can do is I can close this down. And if you're unsure as to how to get to the template center, all you need to do is press the plus button, top left-hand corner, and then go to template center down here. And then go to all templates. That's going to show you all of them, but you can go to created by CRM Crew and then created by me. Okay, so you can see all of the templates created across your entire account, or you can see the templates that you as a user within this account have created as well. And then you can go ahead and click into your template, and then you have a few options naturally, right? So let's start with a three dotted button. You can copy the link. So you can copy the link of the template. You can also change the privacy options of this template if you want to make it public, or you can delete it. So by deleting it, you can either move it to the workspace, as in it's no longer a template, but it is now back in the system where it originally was before it became a template, or you can just permanently delete it. So you can just get rid of this template entirely. Okay. You can also press use the template. So you can use it and add it to the workspace that you want to use it in. Or if you've just pressed the plus button and gone to the template center and you press use template, then it's just going to create it in the place that you pressed plus button. And then, so I'm in our YouTube demo workspace. It's now created our template with all of the data points on it as well. So just be mindful of that. So if you do want to have a template, you obviously would need to delete all of the data points. Or if you go back to the template center, you can create it somewhere else as well. So you can go ahead, drop down menu, and then you can create it. If I wanted to create it in our demo workspace, which I think is now going to take me to because I've just pressed that button, which it has, you can do. So hopefully you get the idea as to how this works, right? So if I then press the plus button, go to template center, and then created by me again, we can edit in a new tab as well. So if we wanted to edit our template, we can do. Now, be mindful here that when we're editing this template, and it takes us to our fancy template editor system inside of Monday, we are going to be making changes to this. I do not believe that it is then going to publish to the existing templates that we've created. So if I then add a long text column, okay, and press long text, and then I just press got it, and then just press publish changes, all changes will be saved to the template for future use. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press publish changes. So you can see it's really easy to change and edit our template. All we need to do is press the edit template button, and then those changes are made. And then we can go ahead and we should be able to go out of our template center back to wherever we're working. So in this case, it's our work management system. And you'll notice that the long text column has not been added. But from now on, if I then go ahead and add a new or add that template again, so if I click into here and I press, I don't think this is going to, or I might do, and then just press use template, it's going to create a new template example board in the workspace, but it's going to have a long text column as well. It's very simple, right? Okay, so it's really easy to add a template and then make changes to a template as well. So again, you go to template center, created by me, click into the template that you want to change, edit in new tab. You then make changes to the template in any new instance where you are using that template. It will then obviously come with the new changes that you have made. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, okay? Because if we then go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and let's say I delete this, delete this particular template. So I'm going to remove it from our template center entirely. So now it's gone. And then these boards are not going to go anywhere. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this board, hit refresh. There's no template for this particular board anymore. I've deleted it from the template center. If we then go back to our template center again, you'll see that it doesn't exist. Now, what I'm then going to go ahead and do is I want to make a managed template. So this is the difference. What I just showed you about editing templates meant that you could make changes, and any time that a template was used in the future, those changes would be applied. So that was quite easy to do. However, what I want to do in this instance is I want to save this as a template. I'm going to do move the origin as well. So same thing, but I want to make it a managed template instead. So I'm going to select this option. This essentially means that if I make changes within the template center, it will then update all of the live boards as well. Now, be careful with this because obviously you make a change to the template, it's going to update every single board that particular where what am I trying to say? Where it has come from, that particular template. So that could affect things. So just be mindful, including automations, by the way. So just be mindful of that. Automations, board setup, data points potentially as well. So we're going to go ahead and select manage template. And then again, same options apply. So nothing else has really changed here. So I'm going to I spelled this wrong last time, didn't I? And then we got template privacy, public or private. And then all we need to do is hit create template. So exactly the same thing has happened. You can see that it's now vanished from our workspace because we pressed move from origin or something like that, the first option, as opposed to duplicate. So now what you will see is this is managed. So if we go to created by me, we'll see we've got the example board template and it says it's managed. Now, everything else still remains the same. Privacy options, using the template, deploying the template in different workspaces. Okay, it all remains the same. But if I now press use template, and I'm just going to go ahead and press use template, and it's going to give you a warning, by the way. Template owners will be able to publish changes to anything you create from this instance. So bear that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and press use template. That's obviously going to then create the board back again. I mean, I don't know why I pressed the move from origin. I should have just pressed duplicate, right? But you'll see this is an instance. There's this little icon here and it says, this is an instance managed by a template. So there is a warning. Okay. So now if I go to 3-dotted button, template center, and I go to created by me and I click into this and I go edit in new tabs. It's going to take us to that fancy new tab that we were just on a moment ago. It says here, you can see you've got your instances button. So now we have different instances. Okay. So it's tracking and logging, essentially like an audit trail of all of the changes made. But if I now go ahead and add a long text column, and just as a reminder, by the way, so I'm just going to delete that and I'm just going to delete that. Oh, hang on, what have I done? Oh no, you'll see here, right? Sorry, I made a mess of this. You'll see here that there is no, so which one do I not want? I don't want that one. Right, okay, cool. So you'll see here that there is no long text column, as we can clearly see. However, on my template editor, there is now a long text column that I've just added. And then if I go ahead and press publish changes, and then I can go ahead and add like a note, I added a new column to the template, which is exactly what I've done. Then I go ahead and press publish changes. This is going to publish changes to all of the boards that have come from this template. So if I now go back to number 1 and hit refresh or tab 1, it has now automatically added the long text column because this is an instance managed by a template. If I then go ahead back to my template editor and I delete the priority column and I go ahead and I delete the timeline column, irrespective of whether data is or is not being stored in these data points, and I go ahead and press publish changes, you will notice if I then go back to our main board, this is the standard board, and hit refresh, the timeline and the status, or the timeline and the priority, should have vanished. I think publish changes, there we go, just took a moment to publish there. So we'll just head back and then just hit refresh again. I think it's gone now. Yes, you'll notice that both the timeline column and the priority column have disappeared entirely. Okay, so those are the two types of templates that you can create inside of Monday.com. Managed templates are unbelievably helpful. There just needs to be a lot of caution when handling them, okay? Whereas the other one is just like you create the template and it's just a board and you're safe. You don't need to worry about it. So now I can see my instances and I can see the different instances and I can see all of the information that we have here. I can then obviously just close this down, go back to our workspace or the template center that we were in, or the workspace or the products, and then go back to our template center, then go to created by me, and we can see this, and then we can make further changes, etc, etc, etc. But that's pretty much everything you need to know about templates inside of Monday.com. You can duplicate from Origin or you can move from Origin, and then the other two options are either a standard template or a managed template, and you can decide what you'd like to do. You can obviously make changes using the edit in template center functionality, which I actually think is really, really good. So Monday.com have done a pretty good job there. And then obviously just be mindful if you're using the managed template within Monday, that if you make changes, all of the managed boards will be affected, irrespective of whether there is data in there or not. So hopefully this has been helpful. If you'd like us to help you set up Monday.com for your business, check out the link in the description below. We would absolutely love to help. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.